Hey all you science cats. This is our first Office Mix video on lab safety, so hopefully at this point you've already watched the lab safety video made by Stonehill Middle School. I would like you to continue now and get with a partner, and what I'd like you and your partner to do is look at this picture, this one right here, the one that I'm circling very badly, and I want you to discuss with them which lab safety rules do you already see being broken on this and which ones are being followed. So go ahead and pause this now if you can and discuss that with them a little bit. Alright, so I'm just going to cover some of the main things. You guys may have covered stuff that wasn't in it, and if you want to know for sure, just ask me. But one might be, and I'm gonna do the bad stuff in red, I'm gonna do the good stuff in green. One might be this girl right here, swinging her hair open in front of a Bunsen burner. That's a fire right there, that's bad. Another thing, this guy, drinking from a bottle with a skull on it. That's very rarely, if ever, a good idea. Let's see, this guy, he's grabbing a beaker, which is glassware, off of another flame, which is not okay to do if you don't have heat gloves or stuff like that. This guy, I mean, do we even need to talk about it? That's not okay. I'm going to highlight some good stuff in green now. These two seem to be doing everything well. They've got safety goggles on, they're using tongs for hot glassware, and they've got aprons on too. And this guy, he's got a bottle with a skull on it, and he's not drinking it, so that's great. What else? Let's see. This guy, I would say he's following the rules. He is, even though he's kind of being distracted by the girl with her hair in front of the fire, he is trying to wash the equipment before putting it away. And I would say this guy's good as well. He's not wearing goggles, but sometimes you have to take those off for microscopes. So for this next part, we're going to do what's called a think, pair, share. The first part is to think on your own. The second part is to share, and you can just share with your partner. And then for the third part, I'll just have you just get with another pair or something and share with each other what you guys talked about. So first, I want you to think on your own. That's no talking, alright? I'll give you a couple seconds for that. Just think on your own. You don't even have to pause the video. Good rules to follow in the lab. Think on your own. What are good rules to follow in the lab? Okay, now share with your partner. What are some good rules you thought of already? Just a couple seconds for that. Alright, now, and pause the video if you need, share with another group real quick, just one or two things. What are some good rules to follow in the lab? Good rules to follow. You can kind of use this next section to review for yourselves. If you know what to do with any of these already. And once again, pause the video if you need, but I would like you to share with your partner really quick. What of these things do you think you already know what they do, and how do you use them? And then after a few seconds, I will resume, and I will tell you what they do. But first, let's see what you know on your own with your partners. Okay, so we'll start from the left. These are safety gloves. They kind of do the obvious and will protect your hands from things like cuts and chemical spills and stuff like that. These are your safety goggles. Whenever a teacher asks you to wear these, please respect that request, because if things like chemicals get into your eyes, or even stuff that you don't really see as dangerous, they can, at the very least, irritate your eyes a lot, and at the most, they can cause permanent damage. So please wear your safety goggles. The fire blanket, depending on the room that we are located in, is going to be in a little kind of tube thing, but you will use it when a person catches on fire, and you essentially wrap that blanket around them, and you kind of roll them around until the fire's out. This one I'm going to X out, because you don't do anything with these in the lab, right? These are open-toed shoes. You do not want those exposed during the lab. teachers reserve the right to not let you participate in a lab if you show up on a lab day with shoes like that. This is broken glass. Only ever tell a teacher about broken glass. Do not try to pick that up yourself, okay? Just tell a teacher. They will not be upset. They will just want to clean it up. The only time a teacher is going to get upset over stuff like that would be if it was intentionally done. This was the eye wash station. Basically, you put your 2 eyeballs, one here, over the 2 spouts, and when you turn it on, the water will come washing out of that. These are eye contacts, which, depending on who you have, may or may not be allowed. Definitely tell your teacher if you have eye contacts before a lab, because depending on what you're working with, if things like bad chemicals get trapped underneath your eye contacts, that can cause a lot of damage to your eyes as well. And the last thing is the fire hydrant. Go ahead and see if you can locate it in our room. You are never going to use it, but it doesn't hurt to know where it is, and I hope you guys know what to do with this. You put out fires. So the last thing I would like for you to do for this video, and it's going to end after this, is on the classroom page. You're going to go back to the Google Classroom app or page or wherever you are. There's going to be a link to something called Lab Rules. And on top of it, I would like you to put your name or names, if there were 2 of you doing this, the date, and you also need to tell me whether you think pirates or ninjas would win in a fight. And then, as you might have guessed looking at the paper, I'd like you to fill in together 7 things that you should do in a lab, so 7 things that are good to do and are safe to do, and then try to give me 7 other things that you shouldn't do, so they'd be lab don'ts, which is why I have the red X. Try to make them unique things, so like if you already said wear safety goggles, don't tell me to not wear safety goggles, you know what I mean? So like if you said wear gloves, don't then for a don't say don't not wear gloves. Try to make them unique things. Do your best on that. And then if you can figure it out on your own, submit this to me on Classroom. But if you do need help after you finish, raise your hand and we'll get through it together. So thank you so much. Bye-bye. Just kidding, that was not the last one, but I would like to just ask, next class period, if you don't already have them, please bring colored pencils because we will be using them for stuff.